you've been doing this for 20 years then, and I've never been to Israel. I'd love to go. I really would love to go. How would you convince someone like me who's never been to Israel before to go and to see these sites?
Do you remember watching movies in black and white?
Yes.
When we were young, we did that, right? Mm-hmm. This is how you read your Bible today. This is how you read your Bible today because you're reading it here in a church or back home in England.
Yeah.
When you first come and see the place where it all began, the place where things actually happened, it's going to be full HD, full color. Because everything will just be dancing in your mind. It's going to be completely enthusiastic because I actually dig with my hands into that dirt sometimes and I actually find things which are related to the times of Jesus. Can you imagine holding a coin of half a shekel, which was in the pocket of a pilgrim in Jesus' times on the way to the temple? Can you imagine holding a golden bell, which once used to belong to the robe of the high priest, which we did find 4 years ago next to the Western Wall on the tunnel which people have fled into during the Great Revolt against the Romans, which is exactly as Jesus predicted when he stood on the Mount of Olives, predicting that the Temple Mount will be destroyed by the Romans. So these things are actual to me. I mean, for me, Jesus and his disciples are actual historical figures. I have no doubt as a historian that they actually walked in these places and I can walk in their footsteps. If I'm not convincing you right now,
you are convincing me. I'd love to go.
There's very little that I could add to that.
I'd love to go. I mean, John, you've been a few times.
Well, yeah, I think one of the amazing things is that right from places like Masada in the south of Jerusalem, of course, way south to Jericho, and the dryness, the temperature there, then into Jerusalem. Then you go further up into Galilee in the north, where it's a little cooler and lush, and that beautiful lake. I mean, there's just such a variety of scenery as well, isn't there?
Well, the northern parts of Israel is actually European weather. It's actually European. It's like the high altitudes and the chillness of the winter, and of course, even in summer times, it's chilly in the evenings. And then when you go down exactly 2 hours, as you just said right now, it's like Judean desert is a whole different story, where John the Baptist once lived among the Isaians and among others, right on the Jordan River when it comes and getting into the Dead Sea. So the variety is huge, and everywhere you go, there are traces of the Old Testament and the New Testament.
Can I ask, if I was to go now as a tourist and see some of these sites and some things that you've actually discovered, which we'll come on to in a moment, how different is it from if I went, 10 or 20 years ago? I mean, have more things been discovered in that time?
So we are actually living in a very fortunate time. We need to understand that, because in the ancient times, or even in the old times, when Thomas Cook started out tourism to the Holy Land 140 years ago, they knew almost nothing of what we know today, and we know nothing compared to what our grandchildren would know, because if you take all of Israel together, 37,000 historical and archaeological sites, we have dug so far something in between 5 to 6% out of it. And look at what we have found. Look at the Israel Museum. Look at the British Museum, by the way. Look at Turkey. They all have things from ancient Palestine. Can you imagine what still lies underground? It's like the whole world is just waiting to be discovered down there.
Why not start your day with Inspirational Breakfast, Monday to Fridays from 7 a.m, only on Premier Christian Radio, where faith comes to life.